Hi, Paul here from Trekitt with Harry as usual. Excuse my not waving, my hands are cold. Harry has got me out and about today. We're underneath the Langatic escarpment up there. We've got the whole of the vista of the Black Mountains laid out behind me in their autumnal splendour. It really is quite a lovely spot, if not a little chilly. So please excuse my hands in my pockets. We've come to talk to you today about the rather lovely heavily insulated RAB Nebula Pro jacket. We're going to tell you what it's filled with, what it's made from, what it's good for, what I think about it. So if you want to get all there is to know about this lovely jacket, stay tuned right to the end of the video and you will be fully informed. Okay, so before I start prattling on about all the techie stuff, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and if you hit the little bell icon, you'll get notifications as soon as we post any new videos. So what is the RAB Nebula Pro jacket? Well, it's a very warm insulated jacket using RAB's Cirrus HL filling to provide plenty of warmth for remote winter mountaineering in pretty horrible conditions. It'll cope with the cold, the wind and the wet admirably and provide a little sanctuary of toasty warmth in even the most horrible conditions. It uses tough outer fabrics and has got plenty of protection, like I said, for those really grotty, damp UK winter conditions. It really is the serious choice for those remote winter mountaineering expeditions or for UK winter hill walking in really horrible conditions. It's a beast of a jacket that'll keep you warm and protected in the depths of the British winter. Okay, so what is the Nebula Pro made of? Well, let's start with the stuff that's keeping you warm. That's why you buy a jacket like this in the first place, is for its insulating properties. So the stuff on the inside is the important bit. So RAB have used 250 grams in this size large of their new Cirrus HL insulating material. It's 100% recycled polyester material that has been created to mimic the little clusters of down. So it's, rather than being a sheet insulation, so in this baffled area of the jacket, you've got this Cirrus HL, so that stands for high loft. So it's lofty, loose little fibres that are blown into the baffles to provide the insulation. And it is very warm, and it's very pliable, and it's very light. And that high loft fabric also increases the breathability and the packability of the jacket because it's lighter and fluffier and softer. It packs down smaller, but bounces back when you need it. And then throughout the shoulders and over the hood, you'll notice that there are no baffles. And that's because RAB have used their Stratos sheet insulation over this area of the jacket. The reason they do that is because sheet insulation is a little bit more robust than the high loft insulation, so it'll cope better with being compressed from a rucksack shoulder strap and from just general wear and tear. And also resists moisture better because it's a little denser material. So if you've got a lot of rain coming down onto the shoulders and the hood, that material will absorb less moisture. Having said that, all of the synthetic material in this jacket will resist moisture really well and will keep you warm even in the wet, unlike natural down. So that's the massive advantage of this type of jacket for our normally UK wet and grotty winter conditions. So what we end up here with is a zoned construction. You've got that sheet insulation, that Stratos sheet insulation over the shoulders and the hood, and you've got that Cirrus HL, that high loft blown insulation through the body in the baffles, and that combination gives us maximum warmth, maximum protection and minimum pack size and increased breathability. So it's a very clever use of those two fabrics to make this Nebula Pro a high performance piece of equipment. Keeping all that lovely insulation in place is an outer shell of Pertex Quantum Pro. It's a 100% recycled 30 denier nylon fabric, so it's tough, it's durable, and it's got great weather resistancy. And that's further enhanced by the Pro. So Quantum Pro means that it's got a lightweight polyurethane coating on the inside to give it that extra water resistance. And as well as that coating on the inside, RAB have treated the whole jacket with a DWR, that's a durable water repellency, which just means that any moisture that hits it beads up and rolls off. You can shake this thing dry, just again to improve the weather resistance. It's worth noting at this point, however, that the jacket isn't 100% waterproof. Despite that Quantum Pro fabric and despite the DWR and despite the amazing low water absorbency of that synthetic filling, it's full of holes. It's been stitched. All these little stitch holes here where the baffles are and where the stitching is, that's where the water will get in. So it's not 100% waterproof. But God, believe me, you would have to try really hard to get soaking wet inside this jacket. But we would always advocate the use of a hard shell. Always carry a waterproof jacket with you because it will rain at some point and you will need to stay super protected. And then on the inside of the jacket, this rather fetching colour on the inside, this is RAB's own Atmos fabric. It's a lightweight 20D nylon which gives enhanced breathability and comfort. It feels lovely and soft and silky inside the jacket and it glides over layers nicely. Just help with overall comfort really and with layering. Okay, so let's go through the features. As normal, we'll start up at the top. So you get a fully insulated and volume adjustable hood with a really good laminated peak and a wired brim which goes right down to the sides here, so you can get a really good safe closure around your face without restricting your view too much. I'm a really big fan of RAB hoods. They do them very well indeed, and this is another example of a really well designed hood. The main zip is an ever reliable two-way YKK Vislon zip. That means it's going to keep working even in wet, cold, freezing conditions. Talking of zips, you get two zipped hand pockets, nice big hand pockets to come right up to here, right down to there. Easy, stuff loads of stuff in there. Stuff loads of stuff. Stuff loads of things in there like hats, gloves, etc. And in the left hand pocket you'll find the little stuff bag. So the jacket will fold up, roll away into that, and there's a little loop on there and you can attach it to your climbing harness or your rucksack or whatever just to keep it safe out the way. So you'll find that in the left hand pocket. And then on the inside, on the left hand side, you get an internal zipped chest pocket. That is the perfect place to keep your mobile phone, keep it nice and warm in cold conditions to make sure the battery doesn't die. The sleeves are finished off with a part elasticated and part Velcro, so you can have them as loose or as tight as you like to fit over your wrists or over gloves. And then down at the bottom you get a dual hem draw cord. Pull those in nice and tight and it cinches it in round your hips, and it's got a slight drop to the back so it comes down over my bum at the back here, just to add that little bit of extra protection and warmth around your bum, which is nice. Okay, so how does the RAB Nebula Pro jacket fit? Well, this is a size large, and for those of you who are familiar with my videos, you'll know that I'm 6'3", 42-inch chest, 34-inch waist, and I weigh about 13.5 stone. And this large fits really well. It's a good fit. I've just got a lightweight base layer tee. I've got a mountain equipment switch fleece underneath here. So not heavy layers. And this doesn't feel too big and baggy. There is room under here if I wanted to put something else on, if I wanted to add an additional layer. But having said that, it's a good fit. There's plenty of room around the shoulders and the arms. I've got plenty of movement. I have got exceptionally long arms. I've got a +2 ape index, which basically means that my arm span is longer than my height. That's right, yeah, my arms are longer than my height. And I do often struggle with jackets with sleeves that are too short, and this is, it's about bang on. You know, personally, I could do with them about ½ an inch longer, but like I said, I have got very long arms, so I will excuse Rab in this instance. So a nice, easy, general fit. Layering system. Well, as we all know, layering is not a precise science. Sorry, I'm just going to put my hands back in my pockets because they're cold. You know, what works for me might not work for you, and what you're doing might suit different layers to what I would normally wear, but I can just advise you and say that this Nebula Pro is first and foremost designed as an outer layer. You've got all that protective material, that Quantum Pro fabric. You've got that fantastic weather resistance with that synthetic insulation. So it's designed to cope with the elements, okay? So it would have to be, I mean, you would have to be absolutely freezing cold and stationary to want to use this as a mid layer. It's first and foremost primarily an outer layer. It also works really well as a belay jacket. So if you're not familiar with that principle, that is something that you would whip out of your pack when you stop your activity, when you're stationary, and you throw it over the top of all of your layers, including your waterproof, to keep your warmth in, and then remove it once you start going again. So it works really well as a belay jacket. It works really well as an outer jacket for just about any winter outdoor activity. Okay, so that's the lovely and warm, I'm really toasty, Rab Nebula Pro jacket. It's made using 100% recycled materials. It's a very environmentally friendly product. It's got oodles of warmth from that fantastic combination of the Cirrus High Loft and the Stratos sheet insulation, combining to give you great performance, great weather protection. It's just one of those super warm, super toasty winter jackets that you could use down the high street or up a mountain. It's just massively versatile and very, very warm. So thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure as usual to come out and talk to you about this great jacket. If you have any questions or comments, pop them in the section below. It's always good to hear from you. Harry and I do answer those personally, and it's always good to get your comments. Some of them more amusing than others. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be sure to be notified every time we release a new video. So thanks again for watching. See you again soon. Toodaloo.